Welcome to our channel Concept Builders by Neeraj Putadra. Do subscribe to our channel for latest videos.
Sharing my screen. Yeah. So the first case study that we are taking up today is a different kind, very similar to a normal bond case study, but यहाँ पे there is one catch what is there and which everybody of you should take care whenever you are trying to solve this case study.
Can we increase some font size, view size?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. The face value of the bond is 500. Okay. Term life of the bond is 10 years. Coupon rate is 9%, YTM is 13%, redemption over last 4 years in equal installments. Okay. So this is the most critical thing that one has to remember in this case. Most of the members make a mistake. They do a flat calculation of a bond, but in this case, because it is a redemption of 4 equal installment, you will have to take 4 different cash flows for them. How you will do this, I will show you. Let me open an Excel sheet. So first I will note down what are my details. So face value of the share that has been given to me is 500 rupees. Interest or coupon rate that has been provided to me is 9%. YTM is 13%. And time frame that has been given to me is 10 years. Redemption 4 equal installment mein hoga. If I have to construct the sum, my construction will be something like this. My first column will be year. Second column I will make here is principal. Why I will explain you specifically why in this case I am taking principal as one specific column. Then I will take my cash flow from interest income, cash flow from redemption, total cash flow, present value at 13% because 13% is YTM, present value into cash flow will be my last column. So these are my headers. Now if I try to fill each of them, so my year will be from 1 to 10. Okay, principal is 500 rupees. So next month principal will be how much? This first year minus any kind of redemption that takes place will be my principal. Okay, cash flows from interest activity would be this multiplied by interest rate of 9%. And my redemption is going to be in 4 equal installments. So 500 divided by 4. So this will be my construction. So my total cash flow is going to be this column plus this column. These two columns, which I am coloring in yellow, is going to be my total cash flow. Now, if I have to calculate present value at 13%, how I will do it? 1 divided by 1 plus 13% raised to the power of the year. I will just copy paste the formula down. And then calculating the value of the bond, that is present value of all the future cash flows, I will do this multiplied by this. And at the end, I will take a summation of it. My answer will be 401.10. Now, my second question that can be asked to me here is calculate the duration of the bond. So for calculating duration of the bond, we create one more column, that is time into present value into cash flow. So what we'll do here, this multiplied by, time multiplied by present value multiplied by cash flow. So my duration shall be 2932 divided by 401, and my modified duration, it shall be duration divided by 1 plus R. What is my R in this case? My YTM. YTM that has been given to me is 13%. So I will take this. So my duration, modified duration will be 5.32%. Sorry, 5.27%. What is modified duration? Modified duration is the percentage change in YTM resulting what will be the percentage change in the value of the bond. So this is the way this particular sum is supposed to be solved. Okay, so we have solved this sum also. The answer of the bond will be 401 and your duration will be 5.96. Okay, then we already completed this case study number 1 we have completed. So I will just mark the answers also for all of you who will be referring to this final sheet.
बॉन्ड की 6 नंबर नहीं चाहिए सर हमने
सर वो नहीं करेंगे सर, उसका सोल्यूशन आप एक्सेल में देख लेंगे, वरना सर और इम्पोर्टेंट केस स्टडीज जो बची हुई वो छूट जाएगी.
Fine, that's okay.
हाँ, तो वही मेरा आई एम ट्राइंग टू डू ऑल इम्पोर्टेंट केस स्टडीज. So this is also what we have covered already. Lakshman Limited we have completed. Case study 6 we have completed. 7 we did. 8 is a theoretical case study, so I have already given the answers. 9 we have completed it. 10, yes. 10 may only one part which is very critical is part number 2. Okay, so we will do it very quickly. Okay, so just let me open the solution for you so that it can be done more quickly. So let's go through read the text of 10 first. Okay, so Kishore and Company is a leading manufacturer of a healthcare limited products. Okay, had a return on equity in 1992 of 31.4% and paid out 36% as earning of dividend. Okay, it earned a net income of 1625 million on a book value of 5171. मतलब opening capital दिया हुआ है 5171, net income is 1625. That is information that has been given. As a consequence of healthcare reform, it is expected that return on equity will be dropped to the payout of 25% in 1993, and that the dividend ratio will remain the same. Calculate the following. Okay, so first thing what they have told us, what do we have to? So the first thing that we have to calculate is existing growth rate in an earning of 1992. So what is our formula for growth rate? Formula for growth rate is G is equals to B multiplied by R. Okay, this we have already studied. So here we are paying a dividend of 36%. So what will be my retention?
64%.
B will be 1 minus dividend payout. So that is equals to 1 minus 36%. That is equals to 64%. So your answer for this will be G equals to 64% into 31.4%. So if you will solve, what will you get?
20.10.
20.10. Okay. Second question they have asked is, which is the most important question, estimate the growth rate in 1993 with ROE drops from 31.4 to 25%. So what they have told is what will be your growth rate in next year? What will be your dip in your profit in the next year when the growth rate goes down from 31.4% to 25%? Okay, so how will you calculate this? What is your opening capital?
5171. 5171.
opening capital that has been given to you is 5171. Okay, what was your current year profit?
1625.
How much? 1625.
25.
Out of this, what is the dividend that you are going to pay?
36%.
How much it will come?
It will come
585.
585.
585. So what are you going to retain?
1040.
1040.
1040.
So logically, this retention will get added back to the opening capital and it will become the closing capital. So this was 1992 capital. So now this 1040 adds to the current year capital.
6211.
This
Retention.
1040 is the retained
Retention.
profit of 1993.
1992.
1992. Can't we do it like this? Let us multiply 64% with the
Sir,
25%.
let me do my version first. Okay.
Okay.
After that, if your version is also giving the same answer, I don't have any problem.
Right.
So what is my closing capital? 5171 plus 1040. That will give me
6211. Yeah.
6211. Now I'm saying on this 6211, I will earn a profit in 1993, which will be now the growth rate that has been given to me is 25%. So what will happen? 6221 into 25%?
1552.75.
1552.75. So now if I compare 1992 versus 1993, तो क्या होगा? 1992 में I had earned 1625. 1992 में I have earned 1552.75. So what is the difference?
72.25.
So I am earning lesser of 72.25 and my percentage dip in revenue will be 72.25 divided by 1625.
4.45.
So it will come at
4.44.
4.45% negative.
45. Yeah.
Okay. So this sum came in many students' examination. Everybody was able to solve first part and the third part. Okay, but people were not able to solve the second part. And second part is the most critical because exam mein all the 3 marks are going to give you 2 marks each. But this 2 marks you will lose if you do not understand this logical flow of calculation.
इसको मैंने ऐसे बिना इसके कोशिश करी थी प्रॉफिट के तरीके से निकालने की।
प्रदीप जी आपका आवाज क्लियरली नहीं आ रहा।
हेलो सर, अब आवाज आ रही है?
अब आ रही है।
सर मैंने इसको प्रॉफिट के बेस पे निकालने की कोशिश की थी। जैसे हमारा ये 6225 प्रॉफिट हमारा 31.4% है, इसको दी हम 25% करें और करी थी इसी तरीके से। ये समझ में नहीं आ रहा था मेरे को। अल्टीमेटली आपका आंसर ही देखना पड़ा। मैंने काफी ट्राई किया, ये चीज दिमाग में नहीं आई।
हाँ वो सर मैंने भी जब पहली बार इसको किया था ना, मैंने भी उल्टा तरीके से ही करने का कोशिश किया।
क्वेश्चन में ऊपर भी 25% दिया, दैट क्रिएट्स कंफ्यूजन।
हाँ, so that is the reason I also ended up like that only, but फिर दो तीन बार मैंने हिट एंड ट्रायल की एंड तब जाके मेरे को लॉजिकल फ्लो इसका इस तरह से समझ आया था। ये आई थिंक जो सीए फाइनल का सम।
ओके।
और उसकी बुक में भी ऐसे ही सॉल्व किया हुआ है।
जो आपने बताई थी एसआरएम वाली, वो कौन सी बताई थी, डाउनलोड कर सकते हैं?
हाँ हाँ, वो आप डाउनलोड कर सकते हैं। The third question is estimated growth rate in 1993, assuming 1993 numbers can be sustained in future. So मेरे को growth rate पूछा है वापस से, G equals to B into R. So what is my B? B उन्होंने पहले बोल दिया हुआ है कि in 1993 हमारा कुछ भी हो जाएगा, हमारा dividend will remain constant. If my dividend is remaining constant in 1993, so that means my retention will be again be how much? 64%. And my R, what has been given to me is 25%. So what will be my growth rate? This multiplied by this. which will come to around 16%.
यस, ये तो निकल गया था सर आराम से.
So many members are pinging for a specific topic explanation. So I would not be doing any specific topic explanation because this is typically a case study lecture. Okay, any typical concept you want to understand or thing, please ping me one-on-one, or we can conduct a separate session altogether. These sessions are specifically for case studies, so we will stick with the case studies only. Okay, case study number 11 we had already solved. Okay, case study number 12. This is a very interesting case study. Okay, very simple one, but there are two concepts which are very interesting in this case study. Okay, so first let's read this case study. Ankit Chadda is an analyst from an equity mutual fund that invests in Indian stock. At beginning of 2008, Ankit examined domestic stock for possible inclusion in the fund. One of the stocks that is being analyzed is Reliance Group. The stock has paid a dividend per share of 9, 12.20 and 15.5. Okay, so एक जगह पे information को लिखते जाते हैं because काफी information होगी सब में. So 2005, 2006 and 2007 का डिविडेंड आपको दिया हुआ है 9, 12.20 and
Yes.
15.5. ओके, फिर 2008 का दिया हुआ है एंड 2009 का भी दिया हुआ है. तो 2008 का हमें दिया हुआ है डिविडेंड ऑफ 18.6 एंड 20.20. 18.6 and 20.20. Okay, these are the dividends that have been given to us. Okay, Atul estimated that required rate of return of the stock is 11%. So cost of equity has been given to us as 11%. Okay. First question that has been asked is what is the compounded annual growth rate for year 2005 to 2007? Okay. तो हमें निकालना है CAGR from 2005 to 2007. एक बात बताइए, अगर मैं आपको if I tell you that you are supposed to invest in a fixed deposit of ₹1000 for a period of 2 years, which will pay you 1210 at end of second year. How would you solve this? आप कैसे how would you solve it? You would say 1000 multiplied by 1 plus x percentage, that is year 1 ka interest, into 1 plus y percentage, that is year 2 ka interest. That is going to fetch me 1210. Okay, here you are told that the interest rate is going to be same. Then can I write it as 1000 multiplied by 1 plus x percentage whole square is equals to 1210, or 1 plus x whole square equals to 1210 divided by 1000. Therefore, my x will be root over of 1210 divided by 1000 minus 1. आप इसको सॉल्व करेंगे तो आपका आंसर आएगा 10%. Okay, basis similar way, if I am supposed to calculate a CAGR of an item from 2005 to 2007, if I am asked in the question that calculate the CAGR, so basis this same logic what is coming here, what I have elaborated in my example, I will use the exactly same logic for the calculation purposes of CAGR also. So let's try to solve it. Just a second. Yeah. So how I will solve it, my CAGR for 2005 to 2007. I will write it as my opening dividend that has been given to me as 9% into 1 plus X percentage into 1 plus X percentage, that is equals to 15.5. That has been given to me in the question. So I can write this as 1 plus X percentage whole square equals to 15.50 divided by 9. Therefore, my X will equals to 15.50 by 9 का square root minus 1. Therefore, तो X कितना आएगा अगर इसको solve करने जाएंगे तो? How do you solve a square root in Excel? There is a formula for solving square root in Excel that is called as SQRT. So I will just show it to you how you can solve. SQRT, you will open the bracket, you will write 15.5 divided by 9 and you will close the bracket. Okay, you will do this much, you will get what is here. So it is 1.3123. So I can write 1.3132 minus 1, that is equals to 31.32%. Okay, the other way around to solve this square root is you can also write directly bracket के अंदर 15.5 divided by 9 bracket close raised to the power 1 divided by 2. Okay, you will get the same answer. There are two different ways of calculating this. So you will get the answer differently, but answer will be the same. So my first answer is 31.2%. Second question that they have asked is calculate the CAGR from 2007 to 2009. So what will be my CAGR for this? 2007 is starting from 15.5% into 1 plus X into 1 plus X is equals to 2020. What I'm going to get dividend as 20.20. Okay. So therefore, if I solve this equation, my X will be equals to root over of 20.20 divided by 15.5 minus 1. So if I solve this in Excel, what will I get?
1.1415.
So SQRT 20.20 divided by 15.50. So I will get 14.60%. Okay, that is 14.16%. But a answer that has been marked here is 14.2 because that is the nearest possible answer. Now, what is the most important part is the third part. Ankit estimates that half of the CAGR of 2007 and 2009 can be maintained until perpetuity. The value of the stock at the end of 2006, if required, to be calculated at 11%. So it is saying that growth rate that can be maintained in the future will be half of what we have calculated in question number 2. Okay. So now what is the growth rate in question number 2? 14.2%. So half of 14.2%, how much it will come? It will come at 7.1% is the growth rate. So what is the formula of price of the share? Share is dividend of previous year into 1 plus growth divided by KE minus G. So now if I plot the number, I am supposed to calculate at the end of 2007. So what was my dividend that I paid in 2007? I paid 15.50 rupees. So 15.50 multiplied by 1 plus 7.1% divided by 11% minus 7.1%. So if I solve this, I will get an answer of
तो नीरज जी जो ये डिविडेंड लिया हमने 2007 का लिया है, जबकि हमारा प्रीवियस ईयर की 2008 नहीं होना चाहिए था ये।
सर हमें 2007 का डिविडेंड लेकर इनटू 1 प्लस ग्रोथ करना है ना। ये जो 2008 का ग्रोथ रेट 2008 का डिविडेंड दिया हुआ है दैट इज एस्टिमेटेड बाय सम अदर पीपल। आप यहाँ पे लैंग्वेज पढ़िए, The census forecast by analysts is that stock will pay a dividend of 18.66 at end of 2008. This is what they had predicted. But now the question that has been asked us is, if the growth rate of 2007 to 9 is taken as instead of 14.2%, half of 14.2%. That means you will have to recalculate and you cannot rely on the number given for 2008. You will
Okay.
have to
And actually-
recalculate it.
And actually, the value of the stock at the end of 2007,
Yeah,
it is asked
Yes,
for.
yes.
correct.
Right.
Okay. Fourth question, if the rate of equity is increased in growth rate, what will happen? This is a very simple question. See, G equals to B into R. Okay. Both are multipliers. Okay. They have asked if rate of return on equity is increased. Okay. So say this was 50% and my R was 10%. So how much growth I would have got? 5%. If my B into R, that is 50%, and I increase it to 20%. So how much it came? It came to 10%. So you can see with increase in R, my growth will increase. With increase in B or increase in R, because they are the multiplying factors as such. That's why irrespective of either of them, multiplication will always lead to the increase in the growth rate. So we will mention it as increase. This is a very theoretical question, nothing to do with any practical case study. If you just understand the generic concept also, you will be able to solve it. Question number 13, we have already solved. 14 also we have already solved. 15 is not very important. Yes. Now coming to the startup question that is constantly coming in the exam. So let's first understand venture capital method. Okay, first we will go through that and then we will try to solve this question. What does this particular method talk about? How do you calculate a value of a startup via this particular method? So what is the logic behind this is, first calculate the future value of the company. So step 1 that they talk about is calculate the terminal value of the company. So here, how do they calculate the terminal value of the company? Because it's a startup, it's a pre-revenue kind of a environment. There is no growth rate and all those things mentioned. So how do they calculate? They calculate using relative multiple method. So how do they do this? They first project revenue or profits after a specific point of time. What is a specific point of time? This specific point of time is the horizon for which investor wants to keep the money in the company. It can be 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, whatever it can be. Okay. Just a second, I will mute everybody because some noise is coming. Yeah. Okay, so this is first thing what you do.
So ये लिखा आपने प्रोजेक्ट रेवेन्यू बोलिए प्रॉफिट आफ्टर ए स्पेसिफिक
after a specific point of time.
ओके
मतलब जितना भी whatever is your horizon for which you are investing, you will take that. Okay. If you are investing for 4 years, then it will multiplied by 4. If you are investing for 5 years, it will be multiplied by 5. If you are investing for 7 years, it will be multiplied by 7.
राइट सर राइट
Okay. This is what you are going to get here. You will adjust cash plus debt, whatever is there in the company's current position. You will adjust that, and what you will calculate is the terminal value. Okay, so this is kind of a assuming that this is your closing cash that the company is going to have after a certain time period. Okay. So now what we have already studied here is how do we calculate the present value? Present value, how do we calculate? We calculate present value as future value divided by 1 plus r raised to the power n. So here what is our future value? Our future value is this terminal value that we calculated. So the formula for us here will be terminal value adjusted divided by 1 plus r, that is the expected rate of return by the investor, raised to the power n for which he is investing. What you will get by solving this is post money valuation. If from post money valuation you subtract the investment, what you get is pre-money valuation. Okay, so these are the two things what you are supposed to calculate in a question of startup. One is the post money valuation, other is the pre-money valuation. What is post money valuation? The valuation that you are going to ascertain after the company has got the investment in it, that is called as post money valuation. Pre-money valuation is what? Is the valuation of the company before the money flows into the company. Okay, this is completely done for a small scale startups, which generally जिसका horizon होता है, where investors horizon is for 3 to 7 years. Venture capital method is used for them. It is a very simple method which predominantly use the same concept of age old of present value equals to future value divided by 1 plus r. It's just that the name here is little bit different. यहाँ पे हम लोग future value नहीं बोलते, we speak it as a terminal value. And here the terminal value does not get calculated basis garden growth model. It gets calculated basis certain other revenue or profits P multiples or revenue multiples. It gets calculated basis that. So keeping this logic intact, let's try to solve the sum. Correct, Gauramji. It's exit value or the terminal value, whatever you want to call it. So let's try to solve this sum. And the question that has been given to you is there is a company which is considering to invest 400 crores in an equity of good technology, a food tech company. BV required rate of return on investment is 40% and it's planning the same for 5 years. Good technology has projected a EBITDA of INR 500 crores for 5 years and P multiplier of 6. Okay. At the end of 5th year, EBITDA के साथ adjustment करने के लिए what has been given is debt of 2000 crores and cash balance of 600 crores. Okay. So now first step that we have to calculate is our.
सर जो इसमें EBITDA है ये 5 साल का इकट्ठा दे दीजिए एवरी ईयर 5
वो
ईयर
एक साल का we will have to multiply it. So terminal value we have to calculate. We will calculate how? EBITDA into P. So that the 5th year EBITDA that has been given to us is 5,000. So EBITDA is 5,000 into P. What has been given to us is 6. So our expected EBITDA in future, that is our terminal value, will be nothing but 30,000. Okay, but they have told us that the company has a debt of 2,000 and cash balance of 600. So we will have to adjust this with it. So how do you calculate the adjusted terminal value? Your adjusted terminal value will be 30,000 plus your cash balance of 600 minus your debt of rupees 2,000. So what you are trying to calculate is if the company pays off its debts today, then what is the remaining cash balance that company will have for its terminal value? Okay, so answer will come as how much? 30,000 plus 600 minus 2,000. 28,600 is my terminal value. Okay. Time period that has been given to me is 5 years. And investor's rate of return that is expecting has been given to me as 40%. Okay, so if I have to calculate the post money valuation, how will I do it? I will do my post money valuation is as adjusted terminal value divided by 1 plus r raised to the power n. So ये आ जाएगा 28,600 divided by 1 plus 40% raised to the power 5. So if I solve this, how much it will come? It will come as 5317.72. So this is my post money valuation. So what is my
present value होगी सर नहीं?
हाँ सर, present value. So my प्री मनी वैल्यूएशन कितना होगा? मेरा प्री मनी वैल्यूएशन होगा मेरा पोस्ट मनी माइनस माय इन्वेस्टमेंट अमाउंट. तो ये कितना आ जाएगा? 5317.72 minus 4000, which will be equals to 1317.72. Okay.
इसमें नीरज जी सर हमने जो ऊपर किया इसमें डेट को ऐड किया हमने.
डेट को माइनस किया ना
आपने. ये दो डेट 600 कितना था डेट इसमें?
डेट 2000 था सर.
2000 और कैश को हमने ऐड किया है इसमें.
हाँ सर, हमने क्लोजिंग कैश निकालने का ट्राई किया. वी हैव ट्राइड टू कैलकुलेट द एग्जिट वैल्यू दैट इज द क्लोजिंग कैश.
तो ईबीट एसेट जैसे हमारे 5 साल का लेते हैं हम लोग, तो इसको
हाँ.
कोई मीनिंग तो रहा नहीं जो इसमें उन्होंने कहा कि 5000 करोड़ जो है 5 साल के लिए एवरी ईयर.
That is what you are trying to do now. See, there is no direct way of calculating a startup ka valuation. Okay, so this is a one of a approach. You are trying to calculate a theoretical terminal value of the company. Okay, so what you are doing is you are taking a multiple. यहाँ पे जैसे EBITDA multiple दिया है, you can be given a revenue multiple also. Okay, that company's revenue is going to be 30,000 and the multiple of other companies is 7. So you would do 30,000 into 7.
Okay.
Okay, basis that you will calculate that, and why you are adjusting the cash balances and the debt is because you are trying to calculate what is the expected closing cash balance of the company. Okay, so
हमारी जो 28,600 की वैल्यू निकले, it is the value of the company
after 5th year.
5th year. और जो पोस्ट मनी निकाला सर हमने, ये हमने निकाला.
ये अगर आज के दिन पे कंपनी की वैल्यू निकालनी है तो कितनी होगी? आज के दिन पे कंपनी की वैल्यू होगी 5317.72.
तो सर इसे प्रेजेंट वैल्यू टर्मिनल वैल्यू भी तो बोल सकते हैं.
हाँ सर, वही तो बोल रहे हैं सर, एडजस्टेड टर्मिनल वैल्यू ही तो लिखा है मैंने.
Neeraj ji, like cash balance is there could be other assets also like
other
stock.
Assets. Yes sir, there could be. So you will add the asset, you will subtract the liability.
Acha, number 2, in the first question, ownership share that should be asked for by BV.
Yes, so this will be nothing but 4,000 is what you are investing in a company worth 1317.72. So what will be your share? That will become at around 75.1%.
So this is to be answered in percentage, not value terms.
No, not in value terms. This will be asked in percentage.
तो नीरज जी मैं कहना चाह रहा हूँ जो पोस्ट मनी वैल्यूएशन है, we can say it is the present value of the terminal.
Correct sir.
Present value of the company.
हाँ, sir see, you think logically ना. आप अगर if you are an investor, okay, you have to decide that you want to invest in this company or not invest in this company. And if you are investing, what you will say ki I want to first know what is the value of the company today. Basis that I will decide what amount I'm going to invest. So what do you see? You saw what is the projection of this company. It is potentially the value of the company can go to 28,600. Okay. You
Right.
brought it down to your expectation. Your expectation was the company should earn 40%. You brought it down to today's value. If your expectation is this, you thought that company is going to earn 28,600. So आज के दिन, today what should be the value of the company as per you? You calculated it should be 5317. In that
40% से वहाँ पहुँच जाएंगे.
हाँ sir.
Okay.
So all these values, whether this is terminal value, post money valuation, pre money valuation, are present values only.
Are the present value basis your percentage of expectation. Now there can be different investors. They can have a different expectation. So valuation will come different for both of them. So that is when you go through this particular approach, the biggest disadvantage when you will learn in the theory also, जब आप venture capital की theory भी पढ़ोगे, the biggest disadvantage that has been cited by the researchers is that basis this method, two different investors will always get two different values because दोनों का risk appetite will be different. Okay, so one person will discount it by 30% and other person can discount it by 40%. Okay, so that will lead to a different valuation for a same company having a same expected terminal value.
So here just I want to have one clarification.
Yeah.
What I understand the rationale of adding cash. The cash is surplus cash other than the amount which is needed for general business operation. It's like that, no?
Sir, it is the only question, the only thing that has been asked in the question.
That's the assumption that it is surplus cash.
Yes.
So even if like they have stated certain assets also, if they say that these are the business assets.
Yeah, then I will add those assets.
Then we will not add. No?
No, sir. If they tell me what are the assets and liabilities, then I will do the adjustment. But in the question, they will only give you adjustment for cash and debt because they want me to calculate the cash balance. Okay. Now, say if they give me my prepaid expenses are this much. Okay. I'm not going to adjust my prepaid expenses because that is not going to give me cash. So I will have to check which asset is cash asset for me, which I will help me to calculate my cash balance. So what is the thing? I will have to see what liabilities I have to pay, what are my receivables. I will just adjust those and I will try to calculate my closing cash balance.
What I was at as a concept, the EBITDA multiple gives you the enterprise value, which is for running a business operation. Okay.
Correct.
So anything over and above that,
yes,
that has to be added. Like
yes,
there will be surplus assets or surplus.
Yes,
cash.
yes. That is what.
That is what I am saying.
Yes. Okay.
And one more question could be there, Neeraj, that like you have calculated the ownership share of the initial entrepreneur. Other question could be that what would be the percentage offered to the investor?
Offered to the investor. So investor.
Or the money which is going to be invested by him.
Both are same question.
Same, so answer will be the same only, na? Because I have calculated everything from the investor point of view only.
Okay. So they will be getting 75% share.
Yes. So they should be asking for 75% share. Now what happens in negotiation, nobody knows. Okay. So that is something which is a negotiation, what will happen finally. But what they should be asking is that because the total value of the company post money is coming to 5317, we are investing 4,000 rupees. So our expected share should be 75%.
Correct. Thank you.
So now we will solve this. Just a second. I will drink some water and come. Give me 1 minute. Yes. So now we will do question number 17. So this is recently this has started coming. This question was in where I had got this question. I had got this question in BL Chakravarti sir book. Okay, and what I have seen is many students have got this question in recent past. So we will try to solve this. It's a very simple case study. It's not at all a complicated case study for people who have already done so many case studies. I don't think so this case study can complicate you. But I would just request all of you to take 2 or 3 minutes and read the entire case study, because once I start solving, then it will be very quick. Okay, so first we will read the case study. Miss Nandini is reviewing a company and comes up to a following data. FCFE is 10 rupees per share. So FCFE दिया हुआ है. So we are starting with FCFE. Okay, remember this point. It is very important because when you will read the question, everything that they have asked is with FCFF. Okay, if you read here, everything they have asked is FCFF. So somewhere or the other in the question, we will have to recalculate the FCFF also. ठीक है. Growth for 1 to 5 years is 10%. 6 year is 6%. Okay, beta is 1.6, FD is 8%, government bond rate is 7%, equity risk premium is 6%, market price of the share is rupees 150 INR, debt is 5%, outstanding shares is 100 lakh, tax is 40%, interest is 3 crores. This is the information that has been given to us. Okay, so let's try to solve the question one by one. So first question that they have asked is calculate the WACC. So what is the formula for WACC that we have? Weight of equity into cost of equity plus weight of debt into cost of debt into 1 minus tax. Okay. So first let's calculate the weights. Okay. How do you calculate the weight? So what is my equity? What is my debt? How I am going to calculate both? So equity के लिए what information has been given to me is that equity is number of shares that has been given to me is 100 lakh and price per share has been given to me as 150. Okay, so 150 into 100 lakh is my equity. Debt के लिए nothing has no information has been given to me, but one way I can calculate my debt is my interest expense is 3 crores. Okay, and my debt rate is 5%. Okay, so can I do back calculation and calculate the debt value? Yes, I can do. So what will be my value? 3 crores divided by 5%. So ये आ जाएगा आपका. This will come to 150.
60 crore.
So my total is 210.
सर इक्विटी में हमने इसकी मार्केट वैल्यू ली, इसमें बुक वैल्यू नहीं लेंगे यहाँ पर हम?
बुक वैल्यू दी नहीं है ना.
ऊपर जो 10 रुपए दे रखी है वो
सर वो तो FCFE है सर.
FCFE है वो. यदि हम बुक वैल्यू देते हैं सर फिर बुक वैल्यू लेते हैं हम यहाँ पे.
हाँ, बुक वैल्यू देते तो हम बुक वैल्यू लेते, बट इट इज ऑलवेज एडवाइसेबल मार्केट वैल्यू लेने के लिए बिकॉज दैट गिव्स अ करेक्ट फिगर.
ओके,
तो ये आपका आ जाएगा कुछ 71.42% और ये आ जाएगा आपका कुछ 28.58%. ठीक है. नाउ लेट्स सी वेट्स आर बीइंग गिवन टू अस और नॉट. कॉस्ट ऑफ इक्विटी हमें दिया हुआ नहीं है, कॉस्ट ऑफ डेट हमें दिया हुआ है 5% का. ठीक है, कॉस्ट ऑफ इक्विटी हमें दिया हुआ नहीं है, तो वी विल कैलकुलेट इट. बहुत सिंपल है. के का फॉर्मूला क्या है? RF प्लस बीटा मल्टीप्लाइड बाय RM माइनस RF. तो RF मेरे को कितना दिया हुआ है सब में?
7.1 नहीं 7%.
7%. करेक्ट. 7% प्लस बीटा कितना दिया हुआ है? 1.6. और मेरे को RM माइनस RF जिसको हम लोग RP बोलते हैं, इक्विटी रिस्क प्रीमियम.
1%.
नहीं, इक्विटी रिस्क प्रीमियम हमको डायरेक्टली दिया हुआ है ना सब में. ERP हमें
1% दिया. ERP
6%.
6%
है क्या? ओके 6% या अच्छा माइनस कर.
हाँ. So into 6%. So if I solve this, my answer will come to 16.6%. So now if I apply all these numbers in the formula of WACC, how will I get the answer? So now my WACC will be equals to 16.60% multiplied by 150 divided by 210 plus 5% into 60 divided by 210 multiplied by 1 minus tax rate. So how much is the tax?
40%.
40%. So if I solve this equation, can anybody calculate? Okay, yes, 12.71%. So that is my first answer, which is 12.71%. तो इसका आंसर ऑलरेडी मैंने यहाँ पे लिखा हुआ है 12.71. Now comes the main part of the sum, which is involving all the calculations. So we will have to go to Excel and do it. But first, let's calculate FCFF, okay, and then go to Excel. So how will you calculate FCFF? FCFF may say when you remove interest into 1 minus tax minus preference dividend, what you get is FCFE. So when you have FCFE, and if I have to calculate FCFF, can I calculate? Yes, I can calculate. How I will do it? My FCFE that has been given to me as 10 rupees per share. In this, I will add back interest into 1 minus tax. So वो कितना दिया हुआ है मेरे को interest into 1 minus tax? दिया हुआ है 33 into 1 minus 40%. So if I multiply this, I will get a FCF of 11.8 crores. Is this calculation understood by everyone? How I have calculated FCFF?
Yes.
Please explain again, please.
Sir, see, yes. आप FCFF से how do we calculate FCFE generally? हम लोग क्या करते हैं? What is our formula? That's why I told you it is very important for all of you to remember your formulas.
Go back to that sheet, please. I can. Yes, FCFF. Then this is 10 plus
3.
But 10 is the value per share.
Yes, sir. Everything is crore, na. So, sir, it doesn't matter. I put everything in crore, it will get the same value.
But plus 3 into 3 crore is interest. Okay, that is also interest. Okay, and 1 minus 40 tax. And what about PD?
So there is no preference dividend. That is why, see, always write the full formula.
Okay. So since there is no preference dividend, okay.
No preference, it will come to 0. That is fine. But always have a habit of writing the full formula.
Right. That's true.
Right. So इस फॉर्मूले में हम वो भी लिखते हैं ना, कैपिटल एक्स में लेस.
Correct.
It is not given in the.
but ये और ये दोनों information कहीं available ही नहीं है, so it will be 0. So what is only important is interest into 1 minus tax. So वो आ जाएगा 3 into 40%. 10 is your FCFE. So you adjust that, you will get a FCFF of 11.8 crores. So this becomes your starting point now. Okay, this is your starting point. अब इसके basis पे we will have to solve the entire sum. Okay, now they have asked us terminal value at the end of 5th year. They have asked us present value of the terminal value and the company value also they have asked. ठीक है? How we will calculate this? See, we have given a staggered growth rate. Okay, growth rate of 1 to 5 years has been given as 10%, and then a constant growth rate of 6% has been given. So whenever there is a constant growth rate of 6% like this is nothing but two-stage model. So one stage has a staggered growth rate, and after that, the second stage has a constant growth rate. So from the time when there is a constant growth rate, we will apply garden growth model out here. So now let's move to Excel and calculate this particular thing. So we all agreed that FCFF as on today is 11.8 crores. Okay, now we have to calculate the data for the future year. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 year data we have to calculate. So FCF. So growth
FCF
rate
will be for year 0.
This is for my year 0. So my growth rate that has been given me for the first to 5 year is 10%. And then a constant growth rate of 6% has been given to me, correct?
Yes.
So now what will be my FCFF for the first year? 0th year FCFF into 1 plus 10%. यहाँ पे क्या होगा, this multiplied by 1 plus 10%, this multiplied by 1 plus 10%, like this it will happen. So my FCFF will flow in this particular fashion. So my FCFF for 5th year is going to be 19. At this cell on the 6th year, I have to apply garden growth model. What was the formula for garden growth model? Garden growth model. What was our formula that we have learned?
FCFF 1 plus G
FCFF of previous year into 1 plus G divided by
divided by WACC.
WACC minus growth.
Correct. जिन्होंने WACC बोला, very good. WACC minus G.
Growth.
Okay, if I have to apply this formula, what will happen? I am calculating at the end of 6th this year. So what is my previous year to this? 19 rupees.
19.
So 19 into 1 plus growth. What is the growth given to me? Is given to me as 6%. Divided by WACC. WACC हमने अभी calculate किया था. How much we calculated it?
12.75.
71 minus growth of 6% again. तो आप इसको एक्सेल में लेकर सॉल्व करिए तो आपका आंसर आएगा कितना?
300.14.
300.14. Okay. So let's plot the numbers in Excel and solve it. So 19 multiplied by 1 plus 6% divided by bracket open 12.71% minus 6% again. तो ये आ जाएगा आपका 300.21. कोई डेसिमल का वो है बट आंसर आप लोग का सेम है, करेक्ट है. जिनका भी 300.14 आया वो भी करेक्ट ही होगा. डेसिमल को लेकर हो सकता है, इट्स फाइन.
Yes, sir.
So now I will calculate present value at the rate WACC. So 1 divided by 1 plus 12.71 raised to the power of the year. So now tell me. Okay, just a second.
Percent नहीं लिखा. Yeah.
So for this year, जो terminal year है मेरा yellow column, इसके लिए what will be my year with which I have to discount?
N minus 1.
N minus 1.
5.
So this is the 6th year. So 6 minus 1 I will have to discount with the 5th year. Okay. So now what will be my value of the firm?
Sir, this step is not clear, please.
Which step, ma'am?
Minus 1 wala.
Ma'am, that is a thumb rule. That is a thumb rule. Whenever you will have the terminal year ka discounting, that will be always discounted by N minus 1.
Matlab in every case you are saying.
In every cases, whenever you have a terminal year ka discounting, wherever there is a terminal year, you are discounting it, it will be N minus 1. Logic
even if it is not given there.
Even it is not given. Terminal, but it should be the terminal year. If your question is only for the 5 years, then it will not happen like that. It is only when you are calculating the terminal value. आप जब terminal value calculate कर रहे हो, whenever you are calculating terminal value, you see here, यहाँ पे denominator में already you have discounted it once by 12.71. Okay, so instead of doing it 2 times, that's why you will discount it by N minus 1. That is a thumb rule what you have to always remember. Whenever there is a terminal year coming in the question, then you will discount it by N minus 1.
Okay.
Okay.
Only in case of terminal year, जैसे when you are solving a bond का sum, say for example आप bond का sum solve कर रहे हैं, which is for 5 years only. In that case, it will never be N minus 1 because that is on getting over in the 5th year itself. Whenever you are calculating terminal value is what? It is the perpetual value. Okay, perpetual value, how you calculate? You calculate using garden growth model. And that is why you will discount, whenever you are discounting it, you will bring it down one more year, say that is N minus 1, so you will discount it. So value of the firm will be FCFF into present value. So if I do the total, my answer will be 219. So now let's read each question and try to answer them. So first question that they've asked is calculate the terminal value at the end of 5th year. We also got 300 as an answer. Then they've questioned us present value of terminal value of FCFF. अपना भी आंसर यहाँ पे देखिए, ये वाला आंसर जो मैं रेड में कर रहा हूँ 165.50 आ गया. Okay. Third is value of the firm, which is 219 rupees, which we got here. This 219 rupees. And the last is calculate the FCFF, that is 11.8. That is from where we also started the question. So this is a very brilliant sum for your revision purposes. Okay. So for the revision of FCFF, FCFE terminal value, this specific question and that scenario 1, scenario 2 question these are the best question to revise the concept. In scenario 1, scenario 2 also we calculated the present value of terminal value, and there also we discounted it by n minus 1 only. वहां पे 4 साल का सम था, तो आपको याद होगा we had discounted by 3 years in that case. I will just show you that also once, just to recollect what we have done. So see, if you remember this terminal value here also, if you see, we had discounted it by 3. Okay, this was a 4-year question, year 1, year 2, year 3, and then we calculated the terminal value, and then we discounted everything by n minus 1, that is by the 3rd year. Okay. Okay.
Can you go back to the question? Just a minute. To the question itself. So in the question, point number, they have asked for terminal value at the end of 5th year. That is, in fact, we are doing it at the end of 6th year, but we have to do it 6 minus 1, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So now let's understand one more concept and solve the last sum that is important for us.
We will do some Black-Scholes also.
No, ma'am. Black-Scholes ke liye we don't have that much time only that we can do Black-Scholes. Black-Scholes and option valuation is because it's a separate topic altogether by itself, so that can't be covered with this. So now we will go through a new concept is.
Sorry, just one question. Black-Scholes, they are not asking for RV exam, right?
Sir, who told you that?
Until now, I think binomial is coming, but Black-Scholes.
No. How are you assuming that they are not asking?
So I just wanted to confirm. I'm not sure.
They are asking it, and they are asking it at a good level also.
Okay.
So please do not assume that. I have seen many RVOs people come out after their 50 hours and they are saying that in our RVO it has been told that there are no formula based sum asked for binomial or Black-Scholes. That's a myth. Okay, I have huge number of students to whom there are proper formula based questions that have been asked for binomial and Black-Scholes also.
Okay.
Okay, and that is the only reason I have created video for both binomial and Black-Scholes, which I have already put online. Okay.
सर जो most of the concept clear हो जाएंगे जो आपने वीडियो है सर उसमें.
Yes sir, I was expecting कि आप लोग ने ये last 3-4 दिन में देख लिए होंगे मतलब.
Yes, इसमें सारे concepts दिए, you can watch it. It will be clear.
Because it is very important. मैं यहाँ पे अगर Black-Scholes solve कर दिया तो it will just go over the head for all of you. Okay. That is the reason you will have to go through the videos, you will have to go through the concepts, and then only somebody can solve Black-Scholes for you. Concept of Black-Scholes and binomials are not as simple as what garden growth model or something like that are there. Because समझ के देखिए ना, garden growth model के लिए किसी को Nobel Award नहीं मिला है. Black-Scholes के लिए somebody has got a Nobel Award. Okay, so formula concepts of Black-Scholes will be way more difficult to understand in comparison to garden growth model or present value of future cash flow and all those things. So
that आपने case study भी दी हुई है जो आपने वीडियो.
हाँ सर, आप लोग that is what I'm saying. आप लोग एक बार वीडियोस देखिए तो सही.
Right sir.
So now we will do the concept of probability of default. Okay. So tell me something. Agar if I tell you that I am comfortable that I will score 60% in exam. So does that mean that I am not comfortable
40% in exam?
40% in exam. Is this statement understood by all?
Yes.
क्या ये स्टेटमेंट सबको समझ आती है? मतलब if I'm going to talk in this language for next 10-15 minutes, okay? So that's why I'm asking whether this logic is comfortable with all of you or not.
नहीं, अभी कंफर्म क्लियर नहीं सर.
सर अगर मैं बोलता हूँ कि मैं 60% स्कोर करूंगा एग्जाम में,
हाँ जी,
मतलब मैं 40% स्कोर नहीं करूंगा ना, क्योंकि
हाँ.
एग्जाम तो 100 मार्क, परसेंटेज तो 100 पे होता है सब.
यस यस.
Okay, if I'm comfortable that I'm saying ki in exam I'm surely going to get 60 marks, okay, then what I'm not sure, I'm not going to get 40 marks.
Yes, that's right.
So this is, if this logic is clear, then we can start our discussion of this particular sum that we have. Okay.
Right.
So say for example हम लोग ने एक फॉर्मूला पढ़ा था कॉस्ट ऑफ इक्विटी में, RF plus beta into RM minus RF. Remember that we have studied this.
Yes sir, ये तो रट गया है.
model.
So this CAPM model we have studied, and what you saw that everywhere the discounting also what we did, okay, we did with KE only. Whenever
Yes.
we were calculating value of firm or equity, जब भी हमने calculate की price of the share,
Yes.
okay, हमने cost of equity use किया, correct?
Yes.
Why did we use cost of equity? Cost of equity we used because we were saying that we are going to invest into a security which is more risky in comparison to the risk-free securities, correct? That's why we use cost of equity. That is how we calculated the formula of cost of equity also,
Yes.
assuming that we are investing in the securities which are more riskier than this. What is risk? Risk is what you are not aware of, or I can say as uncertain cash flows. Whatever you are uncertain about, that is what you try to discount with the KE. When you are certain, अगर आपको पता है कि आपको certain cash flows ही है, तो आप इसको किससे डिस्काउंट करोगे? If you have uncertain cash flows, you have some risk involved, then you are discounted with cost of equity. If you know the certain cash flow, you are 100% confident that this money I will get. So when are you 100% confident that this money you are going to get?
Risk-free return.
When?
Risk-free return.
Correct.
The above formula is actually capital asset pricing model.
Correct.
Right.
Correct. So आप जब whenever you know that your certain cash flows are going to be, तो आप किससे उसको discount करोगे? You will discount it by risk free. So if I tell you that my cash flow was 100, 200, 300, okay, my cost of equity was 12%, then what you have done, you would have done this 1 plus 12% raised to the power 1. इसको आपने डिस्काउंट किया होता 12% raised to the power 2. इसको आपने डिस्काउंट किया होता 1 plus 12% raised to the power 3 के साथ. Now I'm saying is कि risk free rate of return is 5% and certain cash flow out of this is 80%, this is 60%, this is 40%. See, certainty will always go down because of the number of years that will keep on flowing. Okay, as and when a new year is added, the certain will go down. So how you calculate this? This will be 80 rupees, this will be 120 rupees, this will be 120 rupees. इसको आप डिस्काउंट किससे करोगे? This you will discount by RF, RF and RF. If you discount this by RF, then you will get the certain cash flows, because here you have already multiplied the total cash flows into a certainty factor. Okay, this is called as certainty equivalent approach also. If you will want to study, you can study on Google and find it out more about it. In this first step is you calculate the certain cash flows. You will find out what are the certain cash flows. The certain cash flows, because now you are 100% confident about those cash flows, you will now discount it with only risk-free rate of return. You will not discount it by cost of equity. You use cost of equity when you have uncertain cash flows, when you are not knowing the certainty of it, then you will use cost of equity. अगर आपको पता है कि इसमें certain cash flows क्या है, you are confident about it, then you will use risk-free rate of return. So now let's try to look at one specific sum which is coming in the exam very much. Okay. Sum number 22.
This is also called RADR, risk adjusted discount rate. Or
No,
that
sir.
is something else. This
That
is called
is
C, certainty equivalence.
Yeah, this is certainty equivalent approach बोलते हैं इसको.
Oh, C approach.
Okay, Mini Limited has 12% rate bond for 8 years. Redemption value is ₹1,000 par. The estimated annual probability of default is 10%. Okay, risk-free rate of return is 5%. Agar annual probability of default is 10%, so can I say that my certainty is 1 minus 10?
90%.
जैसे हमने स्टार्टिंग में जो मैंने सेंटेंस पास किया था कि अगर मैं 60% कॉन्फिडेंट हूं कोई चीज के लिए, तो मैं 40% कॉन्फिडेंट नहीं हूं दूसरा चीज पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से देखा जाए. अगर मैं बोल रहा हूं मेरे को एग्जाम में 60% आएंगे, दैट इक्विवेलेंटली सेज दैट 40 मार्क्स आई विल नॉट गेट इन द एग्जाम 100 में से. So if I am saying my probability of default is 10%, then my probability of certainty is how much?
90%.
90%, correct. So now basis this, let's try to solve this sum. So I will take year. Probability of default. Certain probability I will write here. Then I will write my cash flows. Then I will write my certain cash flows. Then I will write present value at the rate RF. And then I will write my certain cash flows into present value. So these are some columns which I will have to make. And let me just cross check whether I need any other column or not. Okay. So this is for 8 years that they have asked me. Probability of default is 10%. So I'm just applying equal to and I'm doing copy paste here.
6 years miss हो गया सर इसमें.
Okay, sorry. ठीक है. तो मेरा सर्टन कितना होगा? सर्टन मेरा होगा 1 minus this raised to the power of the year. Why I'm raising to the power of the year is the reason being every year this uncertainty will multiply with itself. Okay. Second year में जाओगे आप तो second year का 10% will be uncertain plus first year का 10% what was uncertain that will also come into play. Okay, and that is why you saw when I took an example of also 80%, 60%, 40%. Why I took that example? Because probability of something being uncertain will increase year on year. Why do we do not have faith on the projections? Because projections are made for 5 years and year over year projections will go on default. Projections will not be correct. So probability of certainty in the second year will not be 1 minus 10%. It will be 1 minus this raised to the power 2, because we will have to take some component of years also, because every year your probability of default of first year, second year will get clubbed when you are calculating the probability. So this is nothing but a cumulative certainty.
तो सर सेम कंसेप्ट डिफॉल्ट में नहीं कंसिडर करना चाहिए हमें?
डिफॉल्ट 10% ही रहेगा, तो बट मैं सर्टेनिटी जब कैलकुलेट कर रहा हूँ तो मैं यहाँ पे उसको रेज टू द पावर ले रहा हूँ, तो वो ऑटोमेटिकली मैं डिफॉल्ट के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से करूँ कि सर्टेनिटी पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से करूँ, वो कवर हो जा रहा है अरिथमेटिकली। आई एम सेइंग
meaning thereby as the year increases the
my
probability of
certainty
will decrease.
So if you see the flow also year on year, when each year is passing, you can see my probability of certainty is reducing, and logically अगर आप सोचो तो होना भी वैसे ही चाहिए, because that is why projections are always questionable, because every year by year one you are more certain about your projection, year two you will be little less certain about your projection, year 3 year 4 you will be little more less sure about your projection, and year 5 you are still further more lesser sure about your projection.
तो सर इसका मतलब जो हमारी अनसर्टेनिटी है जो इसमें से लेस कर देते हैं फिर तो ये जैसे हमारे 7 ईयर में 48% सर्टेनिटी आई है,
हाँ,
तो हमारी अनसर्टेनिटी इस साल में 52% आ जाएगी फिर।
100% सर, यू हैव क्रैक्ड द सेकंड एंड थर्ड क्वेश्चन ऑलरेडी। वो हमारा क्वेश्चन है, सेकंड एंड थर्ड क्वेश्चन है वो सम का।
ओके ओके
ओके, व्हाट आर माय कैश फ्लोज लाइकली टू बी लाइक? माय कैश फ्लोज आर कितना? मेरा 1000 रुपीज पार वैल्यू है एंड 12% का कूपन है।
कूपन है
Okay,
120 रुपए।
मेरा कितना होगा?
120
is my cash flow, and at the end of 8th year 120 plus 1000 rupees will be my cash flow.
Yes.
So what is my certain cash flow now? This multiplied by this. These are my certain cash flows. Present value at risk-free rate of return that has been given to me is 1 plus 5% raised to the power of the year that I have. And now certain cash flows into PV. इसको मैं करके ऐड करूंगा तो मेरा वैल्यू ऑफ बॉन्ड आ जाएगा। जनरली हम लोग क्या करते थे, व्हेन वी वर डूइंग अ नॉर्मल वैल्यू ऑफ बॉन्ड का सम, हम लोग स्टार्ट करते थे, हम ये कॉलम को मैं हटा देता हूं, तो हम लोग यहाँ पे रिस्क फ्री की जगह YTM से स्टार्ट करते थे, करेक्ट? YTM इंक्लूड्स योर रिस्क ऑल्सो। नाउ व्हाट वी आर सेइंग इज हम लोग YTM से स्टार्ट नहीं करेंगे, हम लोग रिस्क फ्री से स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं। So that's why what we did, we applied a certainty approach. हमने यहाँ पे certainty approach निकाल के certain cash flows पहले कैलकुलेट किए। certain cash flow कैलकुलेट करने के बाद हमने फाइंड आउट किया कि वैल्यू ऑफ बॉन्ड कितनी आएगी, 801 रुपीज।
तो सर ये वाला कंसेप्ट इसमें जो हमारे प्रिंसिपल वैल्यू मिलेगी लास्ट में 8 ईयर्थ में, इसमें भी एप्लीकेबल होगा ये वाला?
हाँ सर।
ओके, प्रिंसिपल की 100% सर्टेनिटी नहीं मानेंगे जी?
नहीं सर, यहाँ पे मानेंगे आपका हर टाइम का कैश फ्लोज विल बी डिफरेंट। हर लाइन आइटम जो अनसर्टेनिटी है, इट फॉल्स फॉर ईच एंड एवरी कैश फ्लो।
ओके ओके
सर ये बड़ा कॉन्ट्रडिक्टरी नहीं है? बॉन्ड और डिबेंचर तो फिक्स्ड लोन की तरह होते हैं।
मैम देखिए, ये आपको ये जो हो सकता है नाउ, अब ये जो बॉन्ड का सम दिया हुआ है आपको, हो सकता है ये जंक बॉन्ड है। ओके, जंक बॉन्ड में चीजें श्योर नहीं होती है आपको, यू आर नॉट श्योर अबाउट द रिटर्न्स इन जंक बॉन्ड। ओके, आप जब फिम्डा पढ़ेंगे, आप जब फिक्स्ड इनकम सिक्योरिटी पढ़ेंगे, इन दिस यू विल रीड दैट दीज बॉन्ड्स आर, देयर आर बॉन्ड्स व्हिच जनरली डिफॉल्ट मोर देन नॉर्मल। सो आप ये अज्यूम करके नहीं चल सकते कि बॉन्ड का मतलब हर बार अच्छा ही चीज हुआ। You cannot assume that. Okay.
Yes.
This is a question. We will
it's like
have
a DHFL bond.
Correct. So that can default. Okay. And this is where you have to read it with the merit. See, देखिए, questions that are framed are to make us understand a concept. Okay. And that is why they have given the bond concept and tried to explain us this concept so that we are able to solve it whenever it comes in our future.
इसको एक बार थोड़ा सा और एक्सप्लेन करेंगे क्वेश्चन को।
नीरज जी, what about the principal amount which you have also discounted with the probability?
Yes, sir.
We should get 100% of it or no?
No, sir. That is what I'm saying. Year on year, there is no surety in this kind of a bond that you are going to get your money on time. This company is defaulting every year. Okay, so your cash flow for your principal is also at stake only, na?
Okay.
Yeah.
अरे सर, जैसे हम प्रैक्टिकल बात करते हैं, DHFL का जो अभी इन्होंने बोला है, उस केस में ये हमें प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ डिफॉल्ट तो नहीं दी जाती, वो हम अंदाजे से लेते हैं या
this is a educational concept that we are taking, okay, and then we will have to take it basis some market research ki what is the probability of default, and then we can calculate.
right.
Okay, so I will just explain this entire concept one more time. मैं पूरा एक बार recalculate करता हूँ आपके लिए so that you are able to understand. Say for example, probability of default has been given to you as 10%. So what is your probability? With a certain probability, 1 minus 10% raised to the power of the year for which it belongs to. And I'm copy pasting it down, stating because I'm using that raised to the power year, reason being year on year probability is going to decline. Your certain probability will decline year on year. So what was your not probable 10% in year 1? In year 2, it will be 10 into 10. That is somewhere around 20% is your not probable. That is why it is coming as 1 minus, it is coming at 81. Third year, it will be 10, 10, 10. 3 times you will take it year basis, then it comes to 73%. Okay, like this, I will create the certain cash flows. Okay, my cash flows that has been given to me is my 1,000 rupees is the bond value and 12% is the interest rate. Okay, and in the end of the period, I'm going to get back my principal also. So my 1120, I'm going to get back. So what is the certainty of the event? Certainty of the event is this multiplied by this. That is E column multiplied by F column. Okay. So this is this multiplied by this. Okay. Then I'm calculating present value at the risk-free rate of return. Why? Because we already discussed if something is certain, we are confident of getting that, then we can easily discount it by the RF. So that will be 1 divided by 1 plus 5% raised to the power of the year. And then I'm multiplying my certain cash flows into risk-free. So I'm getting my value of the bond as summation of this at 810. Okay. Now, if you look at the question, the second question that they've asked is probability of default at the end of 10th year. So you have to do nothing. You have to just stretch this at 10th year and you will have to calculate what is my probability of default. If probability of certainty is 0.35, then probability of default is going to be 0.65. Then they've asked calculate the probability of default at the end of 12th year. So if probability of certainty is 0.28, then probability of uncertainty is 0.72. So this is how this has to be solved. Now the trick in the exam is they are giving it in a reverse way. Exam में ये question नहीं पूछा जाता है. Exam में this question is not asked. Okay, what they are asking is this question. Now here what they are telling you is you are supposed to calculate the probability of default. ये जो 10% हमने calculate किया है ना, they are asking you to calculate this 10%. Here we have inputted this 10%. In exam they are asking you to calculate this 10%. So how will you do that? आपको अगर ये चार्ट बनाना आ गया, then make the chart as it is with the same example of this percentage, calculate everything. Now let's read the second question. Mini Limited has 12% coupon rate bond of 8 years maturity trading at 653. Here they have given us the closing value of the bond. जो हमने calculate किया था 801, here they have directly given us the value of 653. So if I have the entire mathematics ready for 801 and I know now कि my value of the bond is 653, can I just use goal seek and recalculate my percentage of default? Answer is yes. कैसे करूँगा मैं? I will just go to this cell. I will go to data. I will go to what if analysis, goal seek. I will tell, please change this value of 810.58 to 653 rupees by changing which cell value? By changing the probability of default. इसकी cell value को आप change कीजिए and see you will automatically get the answer.
So we have to just assume that it is 10% first.
Correct.
Then we will
for
make
the
the chart.
calculation purposes, you just assume any percentage. Assume 5%, 7%, 10%, whatever you feel like, you assume and you make this chart. Okay, once you do this, then you put a goal seek that you want to get your answer as 653 rupees. Then what should be the probability of default? You will get an answer of 13.53.
On the similar lines like unitary method.
No ma'am, not unitary method. This is goal seek. Unitary method में इतना simple तरीके से ये नहीं निकलेगा, because क्या हो रहा है, every year see यहाँ पे raise to the power के कारण every year percentages are changing. Unitary method में it would not change like this. Unitary method will be very simple. So in this it is not unitary method. You are just using a concept of unitary method. अगर आपको बहुत simple language में समझना है तो yes, अगर जब 801 rupees value थी, the probability of default 10% थी. So for 653, what should be probability of default? You will calculate using goal seek. You will not do unitary method. आप ऐसे नहीं कर सकते 801 divided by 10% into 653. आप ऐसे करके नहीं निकाल पाओगे उसको, वो आप नहीं निकाल सकोगे. You will have to calculate basis a goal seek model only.
Can we use goal seek in the examination?
Yes sir, if you are using Excel or if you are using Open Office, you can use goal seek. Okay, so this was the last sum. So I will end the screen here and then we can discuss it and details other things. So I will just stop the recording once.